team back.
Jacob, it's a long year, a lot of injuries and all these sort of things. Some teams fade at the end of the year, others get stronger. What's the motivation in the last month of the regular season? What's the motivation on Saturday?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is just everybody remembers what you do in November, right? You know, you could say we lose a game here, lose a game there, win one here, but it's all going to come down to these last 4 games about bowl eligibility and, you know, how we finish. It's all about how you finish versus how you start. So I think that whole thing is kind of what's driving us to keep getting better and to try to just keep pushing through the season.
Eric?
How much tape last week did you guys get to watch on Kentucky for games past, and did you watch Kentucky this Saturday?
Yeah, I mean, obviously we started on them and trying to get everything figured out and have a week jump on them. And yeah, you watched the game this weekend, and they ended up losing, but that defense is still a tough defense, and they're still obviously one of the better teams in SEC. And so we're still just got to go into it and prepare like any other week.
Vince?
Jacob, what were some of the things during the open week that you felt like you accomplished personally, and what outside of football felt really good to be able to do?
Obviously, in a bye week, you're saying outside of football, it gives everyone, especially like the younger guys, a chance to catch up academically and to get all their ducks in a line, I guess you could say. So kind of take our mind off of football and kind of really focus on school, which is inevitably what we're all here to do. For me personally, kind of the same thing. Just trying to focus on this master's degree that I'm working on and getting all my classes right and just trying to clear my head before this last little 4-game stretch.
We'll go to Ben and Pat.
Jacob, just how have you seen Hendon grow from when he was inserted against Pittsburgh to the Alabama game?
Yeah, Hendon is a guy that has always played with confidence, and just his confidence radiates. It's not really a cockiness, just he knows his preparation is right and he does things the right way. But I think that's just grown ever since we've seen him blow up against in all these different games against these different opponents. He realizes that he is what everyone's trying to say he is. He's a good player, and he knows we trust him, and so just kind of getting the experience under his belt with us. I know he played a lot at VT, but with this squad, I think he's really starting to settle in.
Patrick?
Jacob, how would you kind of assess and evaluate how you and Princeton have played at the tight end spot? What have you done well, and what do you think you guys can do better in the last month of the season?
Yeah, I think one thing that we've done well is we play hard. We're flying around trying to do our job to the best of our abilities. There's a lot of little details that a lot of people don't see that kind of goes into our footwork and our hand placement, and all these different things. And I feel like we've caught the ball well, done stuff with it whenever we catch the ball. So just trying to be consistent and just continue to work on those small things, like I said, that not many people see from the outside.
Wes? And we'll go back to Adam, and then we'll go to Vince.
Jacob is a competitive guy who knows what it's sort of like for a team when you don't play a very good game and you want to go get it the next week. Is there part of you that looks at that Kentucky game last week and goes, I know that was probably their worst game of the year and they're probably not going to come out and do that again?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, a team like that comes off a loss and they're fired up to get back out there and take it out on the next guy, I guess, because that's the same thing that we do. Say we lose a game and say, all right, on to the next one, and they're going to correct their mistakes that they made, and we just got to go in there and play our best ball, and it'll just come down to it.
What about the way that I know Patrick a minute ago asked you about you and Princeton in the passing game, and I know you had the big catch against Ole Miss, but it seems like there haven't been maybe as many targets the past 2 weeks for the tight ends. Is that just the way those games have flowed? Was that the plan to change it up? What's been your take on that?
Yeah, you had it. Just the way the games flowed, and going into a game, obviously we have a number of plays that we think that we're going to get, and these balls that are quote unquote supposed to come to us, and that's part of it. If it just doesn't work out that way, we never get into that situation where that call is going to be made. So it's just about keeping your head down, doing what you have to do, and just being a selfless player and understanding that I'd rather see Seth out there catch a touchdown for 65 yards, to see JP run down the field. That brings just as much joy to me as it does for me to catch a ball. So as long as we're moving the ball down the field and we're being successful, then that's really genuinely all I care about.
Adam?
Now that you've played a lot of games with Hendon, what do you know about his game and how he plays that you wouldn't have known just from practice and preseason?
He's tough, man. he's a really tough guy, and I know Coach has talked about his resilience and the way he's fought through, you know, a lot of the little nicks and things that he's got going on. But just watching him bounce up after taking hits and spin moving and getting hit in the back and all this stuff, like, it's crazy just watching him pop up and be like, yo, let's go, come on, we got to push tempo, because he's just so focused on the mission and what we got to get accomplished. So I think just his toughness has shown me a lot.
Jacob, you've seen guys hit the transfer portal plenty of times. Since you're a leader, how do you react to Harrison Bailey leaving, not finishing out this season, and what was your reaction to that?
Yeah, I mean, my answer is always going to be the same. I care about them and they care about me, but I have to understand that if I was in that situation, like, how would I want my teammates that I've been, you know, battling with and going through all this stuff with, how do I want them to react, right? And so the way I think about it is, like, I want what's best for him because he's my friend. So if that's what's best for him, I just have to kind of accept that. And that's really just all of it. Obviously, I wish him the best of luck, and I'm sure we'll be in touch about where he's going and what he's doing. So I'm just excited to see what he's able to do with his future and get an opportunity to play.
Any more? Nice to get the last one.
How are those other young tight ends coming along, Miles, some of those guys?
Yeah, the biggest improvement that I've seen has been their commitment to, like Coach calls it, the process. Like, I love seeing them start to care about, you know, these little things that we're talking about that, you know, don't necessarily make you an amazing football player, but that are going to grow you as a person, which will then in turn help you become a better player. So I'm just happy to see that they're buying into the things that me and P. Fan and Coach Golish are trying to tell them, and they're just growing as people. It's really good to see.
Thanks, Jacob.
Yep, thank you.
We'll have Javante Page here.